Hello everyone, today we're going to create a website on Framer, a landing page from scratch. We'll use the style guide that we created earlier. Let's start by designing the navigation bar on top. Instead of creating the navigation bar from scratch, let's explore the options provided by Framer. We'll begin by inserting a navigation component. There are 3 options available, and we'll pick the one closest to our design and drop it onto our layout. As you can see, the sizing is quite different, so we'll need to adjust it as we go along. Now, let's customize this navigation bar by double-clicking to enter the component. Let's go back and copy the navigation elements. I'm going to copy this entire layer and place it right here as a reference to edit our custom navigation component. You'll notice that Framer already provides a mobile version, so let's quickly update the text to match our original design. Next, we'll update the logo using the style guide we created. We've already added the logo to our assets panel, so let's drag and drop it from the library into our design. You'll notice that the size of the logo seems bigger than in the original navigation bar. Let's adjust that by changing the size from 184 to 155. Now that the logo is in place, we'll insert a button. Go to the button component and drag it into our design. As you know, we created a variable for the button, so let's change the text from Get Started to Register. With that done, our button is ready. You can see how quickly this comes together thanks to the style guide we created. It makes the process much faster. Next, we'll ensure the text and button align with the style guide by adjusting the padding and positioning. Let's adjust the padding inside the navigation bar. Start by selecting the logo, changing its positioning to Absolute, and pinning it to the left side with 100 pixels of padding. For the button, do the same but pin it to the right side. Now let's select all the links and ensure they are centered. Adjust the padding to around 500 pixels and fine-tune the position until everything is perfectly aligned. Finally, let's make sure the text matches the style guide by selecting the appropriate body type. Now that our navigation bar is complete, let's move on to the next section of our landing page. This section comprises several components, including text, an image, and a call to action, CTA button. We'll treat this entire section as one frame, so let's create a new frame. This frame will automatically shift to the top since we have the layout set to desktop. We'll adjust the width and height manually to fit the content. Start by copying the text from our reference design and pasting it into the frame. We'll change the text style to heading 1 inch as per our style guide. Then we'll copy the body text and change the style to body 2 inches or body 1, depending on the size. We'll need to adjust the line height and fix a few things to ensure everything looks correct. Remember, the style guide is not set in stone. You can always update it as needed. Next, we have the Enter Your Email input field. We can't directly copy this. We'll need to create stacks to make this design responsive. Write the text, enter your email, and turn it into a stack. We'll set the width to around 350 pixels and adjust the height accordingly. After that, we'll change the padding and border radius to match the design. The input field should have a dark gray text color and a light gray background. Now comes the most important part, grouping elements and creating stacks. This is the core of your entire process. You need to group elements that are related to each other. For example, the input field and the button are directly connected by the space in between them. Create a stack here and set the width to fit content. Adjust the gap between the elements to around 12 or 16 pixels. This will ensure they are properly aligned and connected. Now that the stack is ready, let's position it correctly. The Enter Your Email input field should be aligned to the left. To fix that, change the distribution to Start instead of Center, and adjust the padding from the left side to around 40, 60 pixels. This will ensure the input field is properly aligned. After that, group the input field, button, and heading together in a vertical stack. Let's add the hero image right next to the text. Drag and drop the image from the Assets panel into the design. Since our reference design was for a larger screen size, we'll need to adjust the sizing as we go. Instead of using heading 1, I'm changing the heading to heading 2 inches and adjusting the line height to fit the smaller screen size. We'll also update the size of other elements to match the actual design. Once everything is properly positioned, select the image and text and group them together in a stack. This will help us develop a responsive site later on. Using stacks is crucial when creating your design. Set the width to fit content, and adjust the gap between the components to around 90 pixels. Finally, turn on the layout for the frame and set the direction to vertical. Let's add some padding to the top right and left sides to match our reference design. I'm setting the padding to 80 pixels on the top and 100 pixels on the sides. Change the width to fixed and enter 1440 pixels, which will define the exact size of the area. Now we have everything set, with 100 pixels of padding on each side and 80 pixels on the top. Finally, we'll go back to our assets library, grab the remaining elements, and place them in the design. Create another frame, drag and drop the elements inside, and make any necessary adjustments. Once everything is in place, your landing page is ready to go.